What's something you would have did differently coming into marriage? Like before we got married, um, just what's something that you would have did differently?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Probably not.
Really?
Because I feel like when we came into marriage, I was in the face of God. And I feel like he directed all my steps, you know. So if I would have probably had regrets or would have did something differently if I was in myself. But since I was in the presence of God, I feel like everything happened how it's supposed to happen.
Well, for me, I would have did a lot of things differently as far as like what I allowed, like especially like from other people, what I allowed the enemy to like bring to me and accept. I know when we got together, we was fasting and praying, and we was seeking God together, you know, and God confirmed to us like, you know, okay, this is your husband. Well, he confirmed to you, but he never came to me and was like, oh, God told me you was my wife. He was just like, we're gonna fast and pray, and you let God show you, and I'll let God show me. Well, later he told me that he already knew, but he wanted me to know for myself, not like him telling me. He just wanted God to tell me. So when God did reveal to me like, okay, this is your husband, it was a scary thing because like, okay, marriage is a big deal, and like you got to make sure that you're making the right decision. So I feel like that I did allow a lot of things to happen, you know, that I should have shut down, like from people coming against us and having certain things to say, getting in my head, because I almost was like, oh, this ain't from God, even though God clearly told me and showed me, but because I idolized other people's opinions that was around me, I almost missed out on this. I almost didn't walk in God's will for my life. So I feel like that I should have not sat there and like wanted cared so much about what other people had to say, and just kept my eyes straight, like blocked out all the extra noise and just continued to, you know, just stick to what God showed me and what I knew. For me, that's what I would have did, because I feel like we had a lot of issues that we had was because I didn't shut certain things down with other people. And if I would have did that, we wouldn't have had those issues.
Like we didn't have no issues. I feel like you had some issues, you know, people.
What does being a husband mean to you?
Being a husband to me means being someone that's selfless. You know, being a husband, you have to be very, very, very patient. You have to be very selfless. It's like I can't not put my wife first or my family first or my kids first. It's like it's not about you. No matter how frustrated I am, no matter how tired I am, no matter how, you know, just whatever it is, however I'm feeling, you know, as a husband, it's like you got to build the family up. I got to make sure that my wife is being the best version of herself. I got to make sure that my kids is growing up in the way that they should. And it's just like being a husband, it's like, even if I'm trying to work out, even if I'm trying to focus, if my son want to play, if my wife needs something done, it's like sometimes things get like, dang, it's like they relying on me for every little thing or something. But it's like being a husband, it's like you have to be that. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure that it's like it's really about God, but it's also about them at all times. Like no matter how I'm feeling, basically. If I'm having the worst day of my life, it's just like it's still not about me. It's about my wife and my kids. So being a husband is like a big responsibility for sure. Being a husband is like you really the backbone of the family. Like God left you in charge, so it's like at all times it's like you got to represent that. Even if my wife is not in the best place spiritually or something, or it's like I don't get choices. Like when it's like God convict me for everything, so it's like you that person that got to take the fall, you that person that got to stand front line, you that person that got to be the coach, set the example. You got to be everything sometimes that you don't even want to be. But marriage is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I take pride in being a husband, so don't think it's like a miserable thing. It's the best thing in my life. Like I always wanted to be a husband. I always wanted a wife and a family, but to whom much is given, much is required, is what I was trying to say. Don't think that it's like, oh dang, he don't want to be a husband. I love being a husband. I love being a father, for sure, for sure. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. especially from what and where I come from. This is a beautiful thing. Marriages and being a husband in this situation is beautiful. It's a big responsibility. Is basically what I was trying to say to answer the question. So let me clear that up.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all. It's definitely not easy, but it's rewarding. It's a lot of joy in it, because even my frustration, or even when they rely on me, or even when I don't feel like doing something, I still love to see them smile and to see them happily, especially my wife. You know what I'm saying? Before even I'm a father, or before I'm anything, it's definitely my job to build her up for sure. So like I said, let me clear that up.